Collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs. Welcome to your timeless work, career, and vocation read. I am your reader, Angelo, Lyons, Mal for short. Professional witch, professional intuitive, president of Drawing the Circle Productions since 1998, author of Words of Grace, from a professional witch, available on Kindle. That's probably going to be the legacy I leave behind that book. And creator on Patreon, patreon.com/Drawing the Circle. I'm the Archangel of Lyons, Angelo Lyons, but you can call me Mal. Hey, having fun with the video editing. You try doing this every day. Gotta keep it fun. Gotta keep it funny, sunny, gay. So if you're new to the channel, a work, career, vocation read is a 3 levels of power. Work, career, vocation. We'll explain that as we go. But there is a link in the description box to a video by Carolyn Myss, MYSS, PhD. These are her archetype cards. And the video is an introductory lecture on the 3 levels of power, 3 archetypal lenses that you can look at many areas of your life through to help you bring it into healthy balance and alignment. In this case, life purpose, work, career, vocation. We're doing 13 cards in this spread from a bunch of different decks. There are chakras involved. I'll explain it as it goes. And that, of course, leads to this being a general reading. Please take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Check your other signs, because your sun sign might have a different leverage in work, career, or vocation than your moon. So if you know where your leverages are in each, you can bring all the chakras into alignment, get that movement of your life purpose from inspiration down into physical manifestation, and live a more fulfilling life and fulfill your role in the divine plan of everything. Because you know what? At the time of this recording, what's going on in the Ukraine with Russia and just everything on planet Earth, I do not personally have the financial or political power to really influence anything. So the best that I can do is do what I came in to do in this life, and that's what life purpose, if you're going to call it anything, to do what you came in to do in this life and fulfill your role in the divine plan. That's all any of us can do, and as one of us heals, all of us heal. Got it? So both feet on the floor if you can, focus on your breath if you will, and I will get you the clarity, guidance, and grace that I can. For my fellow Leos, by the way, I am Mars conjunct Leo rising, if you can't tell. And of course our motto should be, dress for the job you want. Shall we? Let's try and keep it light. I know what's going on the planet. I'm not spiritually bypassing my emotions. I'm in service doing what I love, and may it be a blessing upon you. Breathe. Balls to the wall, baby. Chakras to the floor, whatever you want to call it. Here we go. Still point. As I call upon the collective pantheons of angels, archangels, goddesses, gods, ascended masters of life purpose, and the higher selves of all involved, 5th dimension and above, 8th chakra and above. Please, using the Carolyn Myss archetype cards, I need 3 of these, 1 for work, 1 for career, 1 for vocation. What's hovering over their head, the 8th chakra dynamic, the soul power, being alchemized from lead to gold, shadow to light, pain to peace, toxic to healthy, helping them fulfill their divine plan for the Leo collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs in this timeless work, career, vocation read, 8th chakra of their work. We'll turn them all over. They're already in the title. They're already in the title. In the career, please. What's going on? 8th chakra for career. Interesting. And because I'm Leo rising, I get the sneaky peek. Although in some ways you know it before I do. Isn't that weird? Right? 8th chakra dynamic of vocation, or spiritual calling in this timeless read. Just seeing how personal this is, and this is personal. You know, the 4 agreements, Don Miguel Ruiz, orbiting my head for the past 48 hours, and now don't take it personally, kid. Second agreement. We've got the athlete in work, the networker in our career, and the martyr in our vocation. Now, I know I put them in the opposite direction in the title because you really want to, if you want to manifest heaven on earth, bring your inspiration into form, you got to work from the 8th chakra down, right? So in this reading, we are the martyr, networker, athlete. that's the tits. I kind of dig that a lot. But we're going to read them from the root chakra up, so to speak, from the physical level through the personal, mental, emotional, and into the spiritual, mystical. So let's look at these. The shadow and the light. The shadow indicates the work, right? The shadow work, what needs to be healed, the toxicity, what you don't want to look at, or if you are aware of, you don't want anybody to know about it. In the light is what you're shooting for, right? The gold that's hidden in the lead if you do the alchemy. The shadow attribute, misuse of athletic ability for selfish ends, false sense of invulnerability, and entitlement. Entitlement is one of the 7 deadly sins. It used to be called lust, and it is in the solar plexus. And Leo and solar plexus is a symbolic connection worth exploring. The light attribute, dedication to transcending physical limits, including handicaps and financial ones, by the way. Development of personal willpower and strength of spirit. Fuck, I got this one in spades. If you read Sacred Contracts by Carolyn Myss, you learn how to lay out your archetypal chart. Well, I've got what's called the angel, athlete, artist. The artist is the one that I have my whole life, but augmented, backed up often by the athlete. I was a dancer. I still am. I danced this morning. It's, I do yoga some days, and some days I put on a playlist and I just frug out in the living room, and the cats are enjoying it, which is odd. So I get this one. I get this one big time. It is the athletic effort. So you need not be a literal, physical, competing athlete. But if you are setting goals for yourself, right? Development of power, willpower, and strength and spirit, transcending physical limits, even if those are financial physical limits in your work. I get it. As an artist on planet Earth right now, oh, I get it. But, we're still here. We're still here. We're still here in our career. Now, this level over here with the athlete is the physical world. It's the work you do in the world. It's survival, intuition, lower 3 chakra dominant. This is the world behind your eyes, your feminine energy. And this is a creative family archetype. There are 9 different families. The networker is a creative family archetype. So this is heart, throat, third eye, crown dominant. What you yearn for, what you burn for, what lights you up, like being an artist is to me. So having the networker there, considering the social media aspect, the YouTube aspect, the marketing aspect, and all of that, yeah, that is part of my career and can be very creative. As we know, can create chaos, can create illusion, can create a lot. So the shadow attribute conveys information only for personal gain, not great, spreads fear and falsehood, in other words, false news, fake news. Yeah, even if you believe it. If you don't believe it's false, it's still false. The light attribute enhances unity through the sharing of information, engenders social awareness and empathy. I feel naked. I'm not. I'm naked under my clothes. So, throat chakra is going to be a lot here because it is about expressing, right? So this can be very physical, lower 3 chakras. This feels very heart, throat, third eye, crown, but very much the third eye and the throat, because then we go into our vocation with the martyr. Now, how I know, I'll keep this in the eye, how I know I have an archetype is how it feels, right? If I let the mind do the choosing, it's going to avoid what it doesn't like and run towards what it does. That doesn't necessarily mean you have the archetype, a reason, a season, or a lifetime. I was raised by martyrs on my father's side of the family. So, it's in there. It's in the conditioning from jump, right? When you're a baby, you start absorbing this stuff. Written into the script before I incarnated, right? We don't like the martyr because we only see it through the shadow, right? So we should be familiar with that. Do you know anyone addicted to self-pity? No, you just go out and do your thing. I will sit here in the dark and hum to myself, right? God, I do, and I do for you people. But when it's in the vocation, your spiritual calling, 8th chakra dominant, check this out, the light attribute, learning the transcendent nature of service to oneself or a cause. The martyr in its gold, in its light. We are looking at people who have changed the world. I mean, Joan of Arc, literally martyred. Yeshua ben Joseph, Jesus of Nazareth, literally martyred. But Gandhi, how many... I mean, just on and on and on. If you look throughout human history, you see people who were burned at the stake for a greater cause. So what I love about the artwork, and I don't often talk about the artwork in these cards, but if you can even look this up online and see a closer picture of it, it's someone flying through the air, flying through the clouds with roses all around them, like, you know, people just throwing roses of appreciation. So the golden martyr, and this is a divine family archetype, is incredibly powerful, particularly as you communicate and do it with an athletic power. Does that make sense? Those three cards are the deepest we discuss. Except maybe this used to be a 12-card spread until I picked up the chakra reading cards. It's Saratoga Springs, Magic Moon. Hi, Veronica, if you're watching. I think she's a Leo moon. So we'll get there, because now it's 13 cards. Let's do Daughters of the Moon Tarot, the next 4 chakras down. Spiritual power, mental power, willpower, emotional power. And you got willpower here with that athlete, the yin energy, the feminine energy, your internal world, your goddess energy, whatever you want to call it. Let's see what hits the table. Please take a nice deep breath. And we'll call these out one at a time, face up. Still point. As I call upon my goddesses of fire, the sign of Leo. Powers of the South. Gave this deck a nice shuffle before I hit the record button. So please, nice and clean and clear. Please clarify for the Leo collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs watching this video, receiving this reading, perhaps giving this reading, serving this reading. What's going on in the work? Survival intuition. Maybe how they make their money to survive in the world, but with the athlete archetype, creative family archetype in the 8th. What's going on there? Heart, third eye crown. All right. 4 of blades. 4 of swords is often a card of meditation, not so much in the Daughters of the Moon Tarot. That's reserved for the 7 of blades, the 7 of swords. This looks very much like the 2 of swords, but it's not. Yes, she is blindfolded. She has a sword on each shoulder, but there are 2 crossed under the bench, the hard, uncomfortable bench that she is sitting on as ever, the waves ebbing and flowing behind her. This card, the key word is deception. Now, none of us see things clearly all the time, and if you've ever had a glimpse of the divine plan in its entirety, you couldn't, because your head would explode. The Tao cannot be defined. Once it is defined, it is no longer the Tao. But this does speak of a false sense of invulnerability and entitlement. Now, entitlement is about deserving something, whether or not you're actually ready or earned it. We're all worthy of everything that we truly want, our heart's desires, but we get what we need, not when we want. Not what we want. We get what we need, not what we want. And when it's the same thing, we think we did it, and when it's not, we think we did something wrong, and neither of those things are true. So keep an eye on your solar plexus entitlement. When we do the Mythic Tarot, we're going to look at those lower 3 chakras and see what's in there for sure. I have a feeling. My goddesses, the networker in career, heart, third eye crown dynamic, their creative intuition, very much the artist's laboratory before it comes down into physical form. What's going on there, please, for the Leo collective? Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs. Network in the 8th, and a court card, Heart, Third Eye Crown. You've got the Sagittarius card, Caridwen, Ceridwen. I've heard it said a bunch of different ways. The Crone of Flames, which is mutable fire, which makes it the Knight of Wands, the Sagittarius energy, the cauldron of transformation. Read the myth about it. Be careful that you don't take a sip out of somebody else's cauldron without permission. Long story, long myth. So this is throat chakra. It is very much the communication of desires. I'm actually doing this at the time of this recording. The moon is in Sagittarius. Talked about this energy this morning on Patreon. Every morning as a mystical spiritual artist, I stream with coffee, bathrobe, usually bedhead, from my laptop over on the couch, and talk about the day, and we do a prayer and all of that stuff. So what am I doing there? I'm enhancing unity through sharing of information. That is exactly that. But we're talking about mutable fire. There might be a lot of change, mutability, something that changes, grows, evolves, in terms of what you want and what you're putting out there. This could be diversification, but 9th house dynamic, Sagittarius. We're looking at spirituality, expansion. The planet Jupiter, one of the gas giants. I dated a gas giant once. Needed lots and lots and lots of essential oil to get through that one. So there is passion here, but it's not heart chakra passion necessarily as it is throat chakra. Like, you want to say it, you want to put it out there. You want to put your stuff out there, but there may be something blinding our eyes here in terms of the physical part of this. We're not seeing something. And it could be, yes, you are being deceived by someone, something very third eye here, seeing illusion rather than truth. That could be belief system. So I think the 4 of Swords thing of meditation, contemplation, healing, fits there, particularly for an athlete. Athletes have to rest, right? Particularly to be able to take this mutable fire into form. Martyr. Martyr, martyr, martyr. My goddesses, please. The martyr archetype, at least it's in the 8th chakra, but that can lead to spiritual martyrdom in the shadow, an addiction to self-pity. It can be very much the book of Job. It can be very much the book of Job. Not the book of Mormon, book of Job. There, and where were we when the gods created the universe? I mean, we're all one with it, but it's not like we had a lot to say, I think. So please, one card in clarity, my goddesses of fire, Leo, powers of the South. What's going on, Heart, Third Eye Crown there for the Leo collective in our vocation with the Martyr? Sure enough, oppression, half of the Devil card in the Daughters of the Moon Tarot. It's a feminist deck, so it doesn't use patriarchal imagery all that much. The other half of this is the Coyote Woman, the Trickster, which is more of the shamanic tricks that are played for us to learn, and sometimes we have to be tricked into our own evolution. This is not that. These are the chains that bind. It's a village that's on fire, a woman buried under rocks, and the rocks that she is buried under bear the faces of people, most likely in her life, societal pressures, psychic weight. When it's a major arcana, Heart, Third Eye Crown, how I read, it hits all of them, right? A major arcana where this is definitely throat chakra, power of fire. This is definitely third eye, power of air. So look, it's don't try and repress your self-pity. It is part of the alchemy. You have to find a way of giving that creative voice without bringing everybody down, Bruce. Don't bring me down, Bruce. Right? Instead, to lift yourself up. To really get these voices of martyrdom, it's not just me feeling them, right? What's going on? I mean, I try not to cry on camera, but when I think about what's going on in the Ukraine and how many young men, right? Because it's men that are fighting the war, and women too. I mean, I'm watching the news. that they are doing exactly that. They are learning the transcendent nature of service to their country, to their family, to their homes, to their sovereignty, and really to the whole world, symbolically. It's a big deal, but you know, how do you do that without breaking chains, right? Facing fears, shadow work, the internal stuff. So get that. There are illusions in place here about the physical world, but here's your leverage. Face the devil, face the oppression, break chains of illusion and set all things to right, reveal what has been hidden and bring the truth to light. Because there is a third eye thing going on here as a result of it. This is the leverage, and of course it's the one, I'd rather be an athlete or a networker than a martyr any day of the week. But I bet you that's where the leverage is. Oh, where's my Thwarp fan when I need it? It's on the other side of the room. Fuck it. All right, we're in for a penny, in for a pound. Lower 3 chakras, mythic tarot, the masculine energy, the outside. You looking at yourself from the outside, you from the inside looking out at a person, place, or thing. But lower 3 chakra dynamics, and I say this every time. It's important to know the root chakra holds all the patterning, all the conditioning, all of the sealed orders involving groups, tribes, circles of friends, the bad reputation nation, right? I love the Go-Go's along with all the other, I don't know what we're called, the Go-Go fandom, right? We're of the Leo tribe, right? The genetic heritage, you get the idea. Second chakra, one-on-one relationship with you or another thing. Like money is second chakra. Creativity, sexuality, that's second chakra stuff. Solar plexus, important for Leos, your relationship to yourself, your honor code, your boundaries, your self-esteem as a verb, your guidance system, your survival intuition that usually nobody else gets. You got to feel that one and act on it for yourself, right? And your honor code, what you will, what you won't, what you do, what you don't. And I think this is going to be hopeful. Breathe. I hope it is. That's the prayer. Still point. Yeah, doing a Leo read while the moon's in Sagittarius as I call upon my gods of fire. The sign of Leo, powers of the South. Please, as clear as possible. Lower 3 chakra dynamics, the masculine energy, the yang energy for the Leo collective, sun, moon, rising, Venus signs. Watching this video, receiving this reading in the work. We've got the athlete in the 8th, 4 of blades, deception, but that might not be dominant keyword for everybody so much as it might be introspection to see what the deceptions are. What's that? What's the lower 3 chakra dynamic, please, for the Leo collective? Good. King of Cups. Court card on the outer can be you looking from the outside in, even if you don't have any Cancerian anything going on in your chart. I don't, but it's in my 12th house, Leo rising. So it's often what we don't see. And then certainly we're looking at creative water. We are looking at that Cancerian emotional maturity here. This is Orpheus, long story. If only he could have followed directions, Eurydice would be with us today. But certainly this could be a Cancerian energy outside of you. Someone in your life that could either be helping you or hindering you. I will say this though, the vibe that I get on this, it could very much be you. More going within, getting okay, maybe feeling a little sensitive, a little empathic about what's going on in your workaday world, but putting a good face on it, right? Being bad, bold, wiser, hard, tough, stronger, cool, calm, you're holding it together, and love will save the day, right? But with this athlete, you might have your game face on. You're emotionally mature, right? I'm not sure exactly what's going on here. It's not as hidden as a Scorpio, which would be the Queen of Cups here. We have the King of Cups. There might be, particularly if you have an artistic thing going on, not so much a persona. We all have personas. It means mask. It's what personality means. But putting yourself out there in a way where you are holding it together and you are being emotionally mature about this, but you're also creating cardinal water, creative water. My gods, the networker in the career. I mean, that could be a boss. That could be all sorts of different stuff, that King of Cups. So we got our court card there, but we got a court card here. Still point. Clear the static. People talking outside my door. Please, my gods of Leo. Fire powers of the South. Networker, creative archetype in the creative intuition lane here. Second level of power. Sagittarius on the inner. What's that look like on the outer? Seven of Pentacles, a time of appraisal. A time of really looking things over in the physical world. What's working, what isn't, particularly if there is a change of desire or many desires cropping up within the throat chakra, then we're having an external evaluation of which one of those to bring into physical form. That's pretty cut and dry. In other words, as a networker, if you're communicating your stuff out into the world, if that's just part of your career, it's certainly a part of mine. How could it not be, with the internet being what it is and with the pandemic for so long, people haven't been able to really get out and do stuff. It's all had to be done digitally. So there might be a big reevaluation here about what is worthy of you committing your fire energy to, your expansion, your interior creativity, bringing it out into the world, understanding that you're not seeing everything so very clearly, or there is a deception in play. But even that is, what are the words? It's a really good word. Even that's transcending a physical limit if someone or something is deceiving you, right? Got to transcend that too. It's a hero's journey. It just is. The Martyr. The Martyr with depression. Chains of the devil. I mean, but the Martyr, it's like being chained at the stake and saying, Agnes Nutter Witch, please, if you have not watched Good Omens on Amazon Prime Video, read the book. Watch the series, then read the book. That's what I always recommend. Just got some heavy underwear. Take some heavy underwear before they burn you at the stake. Comment if you know exactly what I mean by that. Oh, my Pratchett heads, my turtle heads, I love you. My gods, we got the Martyr in the 8th, Devil on the inner. You really, really wanted me to take my time to get this card. So what's the lower 3 chakras? Oppression on the inner. Martyr in the 8th. And High Priestess on the outer. Which means there is an internal process of spirituality, balancing intuition, being the middle pillar between justice and severity, right? The light and the dark. And by the way, it's Persephone underground, all right? And you notice she's got a dark pillar on this side and a light pillar on that side. Yeah, oh, Persephone, Our Lady of the Underground. I love you. So yeah, there is definitely, in terms of your spiritual calling, a time of turning inward. Keeping your secrets, maybe through prayer, through meditation, through aspecting, through whatever your gig is, to literally do the work necessary to break these chains of illusion. The toxicity, whatever it is, could very much be, people can understand physical wounds and emotional wounds and even mental wounds, but your spiritual wounds are really causal factors sometimes for the other 3. So there could be a thing. So don't avoid feeling like a martyr or dealing with that energy, because I think particularly if you've been a light worker, a healer, a reader, an artist moving towards unity and love on the planet and stuff like that, it's very easy to feel like, well, what the fuck? And I said to them, it's like, if you're going to take me out through a nuclear event, I'm going out and dancing naked in the flash, because I do not want to deal with nuclear winter, right? And I'm going to be pissed on the other side. Now, I don't think that's going to make them say, okay, well, we better not. But you know what I'm saying? There can be a lot of stuff that we don't see right now, and a lot of old beliefs that no longer serve. I mean, You know, apocalypse now? With a question mark? So, you know, you might have to keep to your own in terms of your calling and really work that for yourself, because it's not just service to a cause, it's to oneself. And I would think this is more important necessarily than whatever might be going on down here, right? If there are lies, illusions, deceptions, and delusions here on the outer, there is a more liberated way of doing this with that golden martyr. Next 3 cards down, the Healing Mantra deck by Kahn. Highly recommend it. Comes with a bookie book. We're not doing it for these readings because it's too long. I'm saving the bookie book reading for the new deck. But write these down, both the names of the mantras and the mantras themselves, and play with them in different orders. And if you're doing your Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign, you get a whole paragraph of mantras to help bring this all into alignment. Please take a nice deep breath. As I call upon the ascended masters of life purpose, really, the sacred contracts of life purpose, for work, career, vocation for the Leo collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs. I'll do these without looking at them. We'll do them all at once, please. For the first level of power, work for the athlete, 4 blades on the inner, King of Cups, Cancerian energy on the outer. What's the perfect healing mantra for the Leos? In the career, we've got the networker in the 8th, Sagittarius, Carowidwin, mutable fire, Knight of Wands on the inner, but with 7 of Pentacles on the outer. What's the perfect healing mantra you got for us and the Leo collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs watching this video, receiving this reading? That's why they make me talk so long until the card's ready. It's prayer. It's prayer. Please, Ascended Masters. This is big. This is the leverage. I know it is. The Martyr in the 8th, oppression, the devil on the inner, High Priestess on the outer, in the calling, the perfect healing mantra for the Leo collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs watching this video, receiving this reading in this timeless WCV read. Polishing my heart, receiving elation, and discovering happiness. Okay, now, I read them that way, and that's the name of the mantra. So in your work, you're polishing your heart, you're dealing with the emotional stuff. We'll talk about it in a minute. In your career, you're receiving elation. That Sagittarius can be very, very joyful, and part of the mantra has the word joy in it, if it's the one I think it is. And discovering happiness in your vocation, which means that the ties that bind, you're working through them, you are transcending them. Now, the mantras themselves, I'm going to read this way. So, in the career, you're alchemizing the martyr, the devil oppression on the inner, high priestess on the outer. I allow myself to be content exactly as I am. To get that this is necessary. This process, what you're going through, you can be amidst chaos and allow, there's the key word, allow yourself to just be content. Content isn't bouncing off the walls with joy. However, receiving elation, networker in the 8th, Sag on the inner, 7 of Pentacles on the outer. I am born of infinite joy. You're going through a process of alchemy here spiritually that is going to allow your psychological world, your internal world, what feeds you. Then maybe you feed the world through that, what feeds you, to allow you to receive the elation, which is our natural state. Ask Eckhart Tolle. He'll say underneath it all, we're really lovely underneath it all. No doubt. And in the work here, polishing my heart, feeling is a power that helps me heal, and that is an athletic effort for sure, Z's, to allow yourself to feel it, understanding that there is something here that I need to heal, that I need to look at. I'm doing this blindfolded, I'm not seeing the whole thing, but there is some emotions going on. So if you get that feeling is a power that helps you heal, polishing your heart, right? Get it nice and squeaky, squeaky, shiny, shiny, then that's going to light the way through this. It totally makes sense. Totally. That's why I do these spreads for clients. It's like they're just puzzle pieces to help you see, like lens-like puzzle pieces, to help you see this from another perspective and bring this into alignment. But before I do the summation, we got our new deck. The Chakra Reading Cards by, I want to say Rachelle because she spells it R-A-C-H-E-L-L-E. Definitely more en français, s'il vous plaît. Charman, S-H-A-R-M-A-N, by Rockpool Publishing. What's written in the bookie book is long, but it's good, and I love the artwork. So, the higher selves of all involved, meaning not just you, anyone else involved here. Let's get you some clarity, guidance, and grace. I'll give you the blessing with a summation, and then we'll chat a little bit. Please take a nice deep breath. Still point. As I call upon the higher selves of all involved, 5th dimension and above, 8th chakra and above, for the Leo collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Suns watching this video, receiving this reading. What is the chakra message? What is the chakra reading, right? Like a temperature reading, like an energy reading, what's going on there? The electromagnetic field of the chakras. What's the one that will indicate some leverage here that the Leo collective can focus on? Take the message in with an affirmation at the end with these mantras in their work, in our work, career, vocation, in this timeless read. Third eye card number 23. Truth. Deception. Break chains of illusion and set all things to right. Reveal what has been hidden and bring the truth to light. I can tongue pop, it's just not as loud as I can lip pop. Lolly. Lolly, lolly, lolly. Card number 23. I'm going to read this for you. By the way, these are scales, balanced. I'm still learning them, kind of, sort of, but it's like, I guess one's got the element of air, one's got the element of fire. Definitely one of them. These scales are on fire. Here we go. Let's do this. Breathe. Card, let's have some fun, folks. We're Leos. Card number 23, Truth. Throat. Sorry, it's throat chakra, not third eye. I get it. It's not as dark as the third eye ones. You have called this card into your awareness today as a reminder that the divine truth of the universe is pulsing through you at all times. Okay, it's what makes our pulse happen. The universe. We're all one. There is truth in each moment. However, the challenge is to unravel this truth and understand what it means to you. Everyone has their own perceptions of the truth, their own personal understanding, and it is not always going to be the same as yours. Have you noticed? On planet Earth since jump. You are encouraged to connect and become aware of your truth in a particular situation. Work, career, vocation, it's starting in the vocation, right? There's an assessment going on in the career and really dealing with the deception when there's some emotional clouds in there, polishing the heart. This makes sense. It is time to trust and believe in yourself and connect, follow, and express the truth that resonates deeply in your heart. In your heart, this truth, not this that can go back and forth 100 times a minute. This truth. Cancerian card on the outer. You are constantly being guided to listen to the truth of your soul, and now it is time to truly believe and action this truth. I like that. Bring it into action. I like the way that's phrased. You could be feeling confused, you think, due to taking on someone else's point of view or their personal truth regarding a situation. In other words, it might be true for them, but that doesn't mean it's truth. Immutable, always, no matter what dimension or overtone truth. No, truth does not change, but what's true does. Now you are being encouraged to reassess their view and find the truth that resonates for you. As the saying goes, the truth will set you free. Trust and believe. Break chains of illusion and set all things to right. Once you share your truth, you will definitely feel a lot lighter and more at peace. You may be holding back the truth from someone to avoid hurting their feelings, which are the seeds of codependence, and it's not great. Truth without compassion is brutality. His Holiness, the Dalai Lama, said that, and it's really the only quote I remember. It is now time to open up and be honest with yourself and this person and find a way to share your truth in a calm and loving way, because we know how calm we are, right, my Leonines? It is very important that you share from your heart. That's why you got to get it polished up, and honor how you feel, so you are not swayed by how the other person receives your truth or how they react. If you step on someone else's trigger, that's their trigger. It's there to actually help them heal. And unless you're going trigger kicking, which we can, or Leos, provocateurs that we may be, right? Then how personally can you take it if you didn't know that the landmine was there? Know that you are being supported at this time as you shine more truth into your life. And the affirmation, I live and listen to my truth in each moment. I live and listen to my truth in each moment. I gotta say, this does make sense. I'm going to, though we laid them down this way, I'm going to read them this way from the 8th chakra down, give you a summation and a little bit of a blessing. And I've got the torch of Archangel Ariel, the Lion of God. In case you didn't know, it's what the name means. I don't know why they named a mermaid after her, but whatever. Technically it's a masculine name, like Ariel Sharon. Somebody's Sharona. Let's do this. Please take a nice deep breath. Still point. Here we go. I call upon the collective pantheons of the divine to please bless the Leo collective sun, moon, rising, Venus signs watching this video, receiving this reading, with all that they need to fulfill their life purpose through their work, career, and vocation, that in their vocation they embrace the learning how to transcend through the nature of service to oneself or a cause, breaking the chains that bind, the beliefs, the fears, the lies, illusions, deceptions, and delusions that were picked up, but being really quiet about it, which is recommended, to go and do their spiritual practice, to get between, to be very justice and severity, right? Finding, being that middle pillar, the balance of it, and maybe keeping it a secret, but really, really finding what the truth of the heart is and discovering happiness as they go, allowing themselves to be content exactly as they are. Not to be content in chains, but to say, but yes, this is part of the process. I allow myself to at least be here, knowing that it's part of an alchemical journey. And that in our careers, we enhance unity through the sharing of information, engendering social awareness and empathy, because we've got a lot of desire and will to do that in a lot of different creative ways we want to do it. Leo, 5th house, creativity and good fortune. That we are in a time of reassessment, of really looking at things, appraising the value of things, of where we want to put that that mutable fire. But to know that we are also capable of receiving elation, that we are born of infinite joy, and to create that during this time feels iffy, can maybe feel off, but may very well be needed, so that in our work in the world, we can really embrace our dedication to transcending physical limits, including handicaps financially, the fears that we have, the fears holding us back of what's going on in the world, and development of our own personal willpower and strength of spirit, knowing that we don't know, knowing that we don't see the whole thing, that we may be blindfolded, but not blindfolded and bound like the 8 of Swords, the 4, the meditative, the introspective, tying it into that high priestess and that martyr archetype, while on the outer there is this mature, emotionally polished heart possible with the Leos or someone that we are dealing with our life, and maybe both. So that feeling is a power that helps us heal, so that we do that. We help ourselves heal by feeling what we need to feel, even if it is the shadow of the martyr, the networker, the athlete. We give that room to breathe, but we don't let it burn down the village. Instead, we seek for the truth, the throat chakra truth. We choose truth for ourselves, to communicate ourselves with that networker vibe there, that throat chakra Sagittarian energy, to speak our spiritual truth, because we are born of infinite joy, and it's lighting us up as we do so. And that lighting us up, the truth will set us free. Light versus shadow, truth versus light. Shadow is not a thing. Illusion is not a thing. They are an absence of a thing. Shadow is the absence of light. Illusion is the absence of truth. So how can something that is an absence be something? No. That we do break chains of illusion and set all things to right, reveal what has been hidden, and bring the truth to light for the well-being of all, and with harm to none, as we will it. So let it be done. So mote it be, and so it is. Right as the garbage truck comes, I'm not pausing the video because now the music's playing, so maybe you won't hear it so much. Did you like the video? Then hit the like button. Help the other Leos find it. You want more of me here? Subscribe on YouTube. That also helps the Leos get the garbage truck sound out of the background. Helps other Leos find the channel and all of that jazz. And if you want a private read, there's a video in the description box. Booking a reading with Mel explains everything to you, just like Clarissa. And certainly if you want to go deeper and you want me every day, Patreon on Patreon, patreon.com/drawing the circle. My honor, my pleasure, my service to you all, my beloved Leonines, wishing you all the very best and the very blessed in your work, career, vocation. Comment if you like. Hail, farewell, and blessed, blessed be.